The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From the heart of Broadway and historic downtown Cape Girardeau, this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted.
Wednesday, August 7th, 2019, and this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted here on the Podzilla 1985 network. Thank you guys for tuning in once again this week. My name is Shannon Young. I'm Mr. 100. I'm going to be your host tonight for the proceedings. Down at the end of the table is Asa Gray, the 5-star man.
Yes.
We got Allie Abear to my right.
Hello.
And then, of course, the big D, Dalton Anthony.
Yo, you had to think about it, didn't you?
Well, I was going to say, Allie, before we get started, is there anything else that I posted that you want to remind me of before we get going? And I'm also stalling because I don't have Facebook open for the notes.
Wow.
So.
I like how we spent like 6 minutes in the pre-show,
Yeah.
and Dalton waits until the actual recording starts to get up and get his water.
It's because I saw it just now, and I was like,
Shannon waited to get
No,
on
I'm not,
Facebook.
guys. I'm not the bad guy here.
yeah, it's
It's
very
clear.
No,
obviously Allie
at least
Dalton.
like as he's opening up Facebook, he can at least talk into the microphone and contribute.
There was 3 people. I was gone for 10 seconds. Nobody knew I was gone until you said that. We don't
Be
use-
better.
All right, so literally,
Be better.
he started. I said, "Yo," and I looked, and I was like, "Oh, there's my water."
Hey.
And I was like, "I'll be fine." And then I started feeling thirsty the second I realized I was good.
All right, real quick, have you considered being better?
No, I didn't. Not all of us can be Asa.
Let's start off with the big news of the week. We actually have a lot to go through here. We're gonna try to cut this down as best we can so you guys can get out of here at a reasonable hour. And of course, the big news coming out was last week. Harley Race, legendary professional wrestler Harley Race, passed away, and the wrestling world, of course, shocked, saddened. Harley Race is truly a legend. Someone said it, and I know I said it too a couple of times in the past, that you throw the term legend around a lot, and some people are definitely deserving of recognition. But legend is it feels like such a broad term now.
Like when we were talking, it was when we were talking about the Raw reunion,
Yeah.
where it was just like, okay,
Here's the legends:
so yeah, we're
Alicia
using
Fox, Santino Marella.
Alicia Fox, who is on the current roster still. Like
Right.
she was not an alumni.
Right.
The Boogeyman, like it was. Like
They're loose and fast with that
right.
term legend.
But no, Harley Race, who is also a how many time NWA champion?
400 and
No, not that many, but like it was.
It's 5 or 8.
Yeah, it was. But it's
I
in
think
that
it's his
bubble.
Twitter. It was his Twitter handle.
I think it's 8. I'm almost
I think
positive.
it's 8, but I'm not 100%. But like also just from like where we're at, like Harley Race is one of the most important wrestlers to Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like he owned a wrestling school in St. Louis. A lot of guys that like all of us have shared locker rooms with, like trained under him.
Yeah. Worked with him in one way or the other.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think
Damone was close to him.
about to say Hargis was trained by him, or Harley Race had a training and Chris Hargis is like, or had a hand in Chris Hargis's training.
And he was an 8-time champion.
It was 8.
Yep.
I know if you listen to Kevin Huntsberger's My 123 Cents this week, Heath Hatton talked about Harley Race a little bit because it was right. They recorded right after all that happened.
I never. Yeah, we finished the show last week right before news had broke out.
It was
That
like,
he-
the, it was like the
Thursday.
next day. Yeah.
yeah, which always seems to happen. And I didn't know Harley Race personally. Obviously, I never met the man, but he. Dalton left. He took off.
He just stood up and left.
But when I think of like legendary wrestlers in the world of professional wrestling, Harley Race is one of the top 5 names. And I never saw a ton of his matches. It's one of those things that you don't even have to see his matches to know who Harley Race is and how important he was.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the era of the Hulk Hogan's and the Ultimate Warriors, and then into the 90s and where we are now. Harley Race was a little bit before my time, especially in his heyday, but I always knew who he was. I knew how important he was. And even today, it's such a big imprint on the professional wrestling world.
It was one of those things where it's like, yeah, I am not super familiar with a lot of his work, except for the quote that I posted of the, if I hit him with my left and he doesn't go down, I'll walk around him and see what's holding him up.
Yeah.
Like, because it's just like, that is so awesome.
Well, he
Like,
was
that is badass. And it's also, but it's one of those things where even though, like, like I said, I'm not as familiar with his work, like, anytime he did show up anywhere, even in, like, not an official capacity, just like when he did the interview with Aldis not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's just, there is an air about him that is like, I don't, like, there is a quantifiable like not the X factor. Because not like personality wise, but just like
he has a presence.
He has a presence.
Yeah,
he has a larger than life figure.
I was at that show, and like I saw the wrestlers, and like Adam Cole was there, and he was because it was at his show. It was at WLW, and I saw him, and I wanted to go meet him, but I was too scared to. And this wasn't like 3 years ago. It was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah,
and intimidated.
Yeah, and he's just because like I watch every once in a while, I'll get an old NWA kick, and I've seen a good amount of his stuff through NWA, and like I wouldn't want to say he was a perfect wrestler whenever Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes were running.
Yeah,
so he is just in my eyes, he is just as important, especially being from this area and knowing his impact on Missouri wrestling. Like he is super important, but when you're going and you're like number 3 and you're behind Flair and Dusty and then Hogan was running at the same time, like he was top 10 in the 70s and 80s.
He also it's one of those things too where it's like he really is kind of like royalty. And it's
like he's
king. So important. Well, and that's the thing is like I mostly know him. Like that's the most of what I've seen him do.
WWF
was from the King Harley Race stuff.
Yeah,
just because that's just what was easy. That's what was easily accessible by me.
So
like I could go through the old NWA stuff, which I'm kind of curious to now.
Yes,
the stuff that I remember Harley Race from originally was WCW, like the terrible
Jim Crockett.
No, in Hogan versus Dungeon of Doom era type stuff.
Oh, okay.
He was, and I didn't even know how important he was at the time. I didn't know how important Harley Race was.
It's kind of like how I didn't as a child. I didn't know that Jerry Lawler was
so
important.
so big as he was. So that was my first exposure to Harley Race, and he was just a background player for in my opinion. Maybe I could be wrong because I don't remember a ton about it. I just remember seeing him in the backgrounds and stuff like that.
But he was never featured prominently in a major role.
I don't remember him being featured prominently. I remember him being in Vader's White Castle of Fear. Yes, it was called Vader's White Castle of Fear.
Recently, back in December, January, they did a Walmart flashbacks set, which I was pretty good at getting all of them. That's the 6 and all that. King Harley Race was in it.
Yeah.
And I was so pumped to get this figure. Mattel screwed up distribution. Before he died, it was $200 to get a hold of one.
Oh, no.
I haven't checked.
Did you ever get one?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. I was able to find the Stone Cold and out of that 4-pack, but it was a 4-pack. I wanted all of them. And yeah, no, so...
okay. I thought you were talking about it was a wave of elites.
It was a wave. It was a wave. But there was 4 of them.
Oh,
but
okay.
it was a Walmart exclusive.
So, but it wasn't it wasn't one with Heenan and John Studd and Andre.
No, it wasn't.
That was
all
an
together.
actual 4-pack.
Yeah, no, they're all single. And I remember wanting that Harley Race so bad because I was they've never done a Harley. If they did, it was super early, and there's no way I'm getting a hold of that one. I was I want a Harley Race figure because that would be awesome. It's King Harley Race. He was in purple, and I was yes. And then that one is now $200-$250.
There really is something to be said about and I'm not saying I agree with it, but the criticism that today's wrestlers don't look like they used to. Because if you look like a guy like Harley Race, I can't think of many people that look like Harley Race. Just that big, tough, he's just that super tough
He's a slab
exterior.
of meat.
Yeah. And the same thing with the Hogans and the Bruno Sammartinos and stuff like that. It has definitely gone to a more athletic, kind of slimmer builds,
as opposed to more the meat potato.
Yeah, more of the big ham hocks throwing punches at each other.
So I know I've said it's mostly King Harley Race and then some of the other NWA stuff, but you mostly know him for his reputation.
Yeah,
and that's what you really like. He is second behind Haku, of just
also a king,
not to be effed with.
Yeah, it's King Haku, King Harley Race, and then King Billy Gunn. One
now
of these things is not like the other.
No! I would not mess with Billy Gunn.
I mean, no, but he also doesn't
he doesn't have the stories.
No one said that they would if they were in a tank they'd drive the other way
right.
from Billy Gunn.
I don't think when The Rock was cutting his balls off live on Raw, he was worried about Billy Gunn tearing him apart backstage. Again, Harley Race passes away. Very, very sad for the wrestling community. Truly a legend gone, and there will never be another one.
Nope.
Never be another Harley Race. We're going to move on to our next story here.
Jump down to the one that I just added because that's
because
more.
it's NWA related.
Yeah.
Asa just added this to the list. Also, I want to take a second out to once again thank Asa for all of the hard work that he does on the PW show, especially. He puts all the notes together. He picks the stories. He does a fantastic job at it. NWA announces weekly television show. First tapings are September 31st and October 1st.
Yep. This literally broke less than 3 hours ago. This morning, Billy Corgan announced that there was going to be a major NWA announcement tonight, and that's what it is. Is that they are going to start their own TV show.
Do we know channel or anything?
No, they didn't. Not that I could find. I didn't get a chance because he did it as a YouTube video, but all of the recaps aren't saying that, and I feel like that would be a major part of the story.
Yeah.
So I think the details are kind of light. Like they don't have a roster or anything yet, but it kind of explains why the story that came out a while back of Nick Aldis turned down AEW makes more sense now because
NWA.
you could go to
Nick
AEW.
Aldis has been such a big part of the NWA.
The relaunch, yeah. He's been champion forever.
We obviously got to work with him about a year ago at this point.
That was a year ago. It was Homecoming.
When he went up against Austin Lane in a fantastic match for
First
the NWA
time,
championship.
first time NWA championship was defended in Missouri in like 60 years.
And that was one of the biggest.
It was a long. I was exaggerating
like-
for humor. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
I think it was 20 years legit.
It was like
No, no, no.
29.
Yeah.
It was longer than I've been alive. I think it was like 91, 92, so 28, 29.
Yeah.
Legitimate thrill for me as I was still ring announcing at the
Oh
time.
yeah, you were sitting right in
Yeah, and I got to hold the NWA title the whole time. Oh my God. Like I felt like a king. King Shannon Young. Right below Billy Gunn in terms of badassness. Again, if you guys haven't listened to the pre-show, $1 get you access to all the pre-shows. You get exclusive details about my debut album, Portrait of a Badass, coming very soon.
Jesus Christ.
Moving on. I need clarification on this one because I didn't hear about this and I'm wondering what this means. So we're talking about WWE 2K20. They just released both a promotional video, which everybody's calling, I think it's called Cocktail Party, which was funny. Have you seen it?
Where Becky Lynch comes in through the ceiling, yeah.
Batman style, and you have like Hogan's there and Stone Cold. That was pretty cool.
And Velveteen Dream, sir.
Velveteen Dream, that was my favorite part. Like I saw Hogan, I'm like, oh, cool, Hogan's there. I was like, Velveteen, what are you doing?
Hogan probably pushed for that one. He's a big fan.
Who isn't? Freaking Velveteen Dream is amazing.
Yeah.
And then they had a great video of Xavier Woods explaining some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And showed some footage and stuff like that. And the game, we'll get to the game part in a second. But you put Ukes no longer developing. They're not developing 2K20.
They are not advertised as it is the other. It's whatever the other company is because it's been developed by Ukes and this company.
It's Jax, isn't it?
No,
No.
that's been that's,
THQ? No, THQ.
No,
No.
THQ is pre.
Who the hell is the other person?
but they are no longer
2K?
listed as 2K is the publisher.
So who the hell?
I'm
develops
looking
it?
It's not
into it.
Crystal. It's not Crystal Dynamics.
I'm looking right now.
but
Visual Concepts.
Yeah.
Shit, I should have known that. Because
So-
that's who does all the 2K videos.
because it's
So that
Ukes,
could be
it's
good.
because Visual Concepts has been the one who's they've been doing all of them. Like they've been working with Ukes like the entire like,
ever since
2K
the 2K
run.
merger,
Yeah. And so now it's just Ukes is no longer being listed, and it kind of comes from that. Do you remember a couple weeks ago the story where
Developing a different game.
Ukes wants to put out a different wrestling game to create some internal competition? And so a lot of people are reading. They're filling in their own story. Like they're reading between the lines and saying like, oh, well, WWE does not want that competition.
Right.
So they're just going to pull Ukes from working on.
All I'm saying is if EA finally gets their head out of their ass, yeah, right, and maybe they bring on Ukes or another developer and they do make that AEW game, and I can legitimately play as Marco Stunt in a video game, I will lose my shit.
That would be awesome.
I will lose it. Also, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus were just the best thing.
He posted something like the other day of just like he had a dream that AEW let him keep We Belong.
Yeah.
As long as he paid like $10 a month for the royalties, and I was like,
Just the Spotify?
Oh man, he's not gonna like. I didn't really think of that.
Did you see Chris Jericho's response?
No.
He said, "Yo, you seem like more of a Love Is a Battlefield kind of guy." I was
Yes,
like, "Oh, he doesn't know," but that's
I
funny.
like that this is I like this interaction.
You like that
that's
Chris
happening.
Jericho is interacting with Marco's stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't plan
so,
on killing Marco out of jealousy.
So
I said don't.
he
Did you
checked
mean it?
himself. He checked
Yeah.
it direct. Now let's begin.
Jesus Christ.
So on the topic of 2K20, the video. First, let's talk about the game itself, and then we'll get to a new segment on the show called "Allie's Got a Problem," because Allie's got a problem with something.
Word. I think it's my same problem.
I think we all probably have the same feeling. But before we get to Allie's segment, what did you think about what they showed?
It looks like WWE is making a video game for 2020.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that just like
but
same old shit. They did add a couple of different things.
But like, I'm gonna buy it.
Well, yeah.
Did you
Buy it.
Did you see if you could pre-order the?
It's not available yet.
All right, the second it
I
does.
will. I'll keep checking.
Brother.
So one of the things that confused me about it, though, they announced
Have
that
you had a problem getting that?
No, but it's
the
one of
first
those-
year. Remember the NXT edition?
Oh yeah, we thought we weren't gonna get one.
Yeah, we lucked because I think you got one. You lucked into one,
But I literally bought mine the day of.
which is sad because Zach Price ordered his online for like $200. I remember that. That
like-
was a thing.
But ever since the NXT thing, we're like, didn't we have to like reorder them because our order fell through or some stupid shit like
Something
that?
happened. Yeah.
And like ever since then, I've just been like, hey, just make sure you order it. I ordered it last year through your
You ordered it
Games Club Unlocked.
Yeah.
but to be fair, the
and that was-
collector's editions have sucked.
And that was like a couple like weeks after it had gone up.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I get it.
So it's
'Cause
just, no, it's
SmackDown.
just like they're not that.
Are
like
you
they're-
excited about the collector's edition this year? Because correct me if I'm wrong,
so-
but all you get is a piece of the ring,
Yeah,
and that's it, isn't it?
No, they just haven't. Their physical collectibles was what they said, but they didn't confirm like
announced
what any of it actually is going to be.
but here's the thing,
Like a
And-
fist replica.
It's gonna be hard to top last year with
That would be baller.
with the replica Hall of Fame ring.
no,
that was just
the
badass.
Funko Pop.
The Funko Pop was pretty
That's pretty cool, too.
No, the really unfortunate thing that's happened to me is I've gotten the collector's edition 16, 17, 18, and 19, and now I've become a collector. So I have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was because like the rumor was it was going to be DX, and I was like, fuck yeah, I want a DX box. But then like
It's SmackDown,
now it's SmackDown, and
which
I'm
is
like,
really weird.
it's cool.
Honestly, I think that's cooler.
like well yeah, it depends on how you think about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
somebody younger will probably think the SmackDown thing's cooler, but
You're also less likely to get something Xbox related in the box, so I understand why you're
I'm
upset.
about to say is like who's my favorite wrestler of all time? What's my favorite tag
See,
team? Like
if it would have been me, I would have done the Big Dog edition.
oh, that's the regular game.
Oh, that's true. We'll get to that in a second. The character creation, it's probably going to be I swear, it's going to be the exact same. It's
Yeah.
going to be the exact same. But they did say that you can do female My Careers as well.
Yep.
Which I thought, okay, that's really cool. But then the video they showed the male created wrestler and the female created wrestler together interacting in scenes. So now I'm thinking like, do I have to create a female wrestler for this? Like, is it going to be forced or do I have a choice? Which I'm fine playing a female wrestler. I love playing women wrestlers. I think women's wrestling is great. But
when you also like when you do character select stuff, you either
Oh, I
do
go
like
crazy.
you're either the most handsome like man you can make, or you're the most attractive female like lady you can make.
yeah.
It just kind of depends
Well,
on your mood.
I mean, it's called fantasy. I don't want to be reality. The giant slug monster with no beard on the cover of the game. But I could see it being a turnoff if you have to create a female wrestler and maybe even forced to play as her in some spots. For some players that don't want to do that. I was hoping it was just going to be like the UFC, where it's like, here's a male career, he's a female career.
Do you know? Okay, so what I think it's going to be, well, like what makes sense to me is, and this to me this is a cop out, is the story is the same whether you do male or female.
Yeah.
The only thing that changes are your opponents. But when you see those two together, like so, say you created you want to do a female run, you don't actually have to make a male character; it just auto generates. So it's like
so
then
it's like Pokemon, where
Baron-
you pick blue and then they create a red for you.
Yeah, so then like Baron Blade ends up being and same thing like I want to be a male competitor, so then they just auto generate a female one.
Baron
to
Blade better be in the game.
I mean,
know
he
he
will
will
be,
be.
but
Yeah.
He's
been,
probably
like-
going to be a trainer at NXT.
Yeah, the way what he has been, because
That's
like
kinda neat. Oh,
has
that
he?
at least that stays canon.
I didn't realize
he trained the character in 2K19
I didn't realize he'd been bumped up to trainer.
and owned a promotion.
and owed a promotion.
I knew that one.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
One of the things I'm really excited about before we get to the alley bit is the showcase mode this year.
The Four Horsewomen.
Yeah, I am super stoked about that. I think that's a really awesome touch because the Daniel Bryan showcase mode was fine last year. They didn't have it in 18 that I'm aware of.
The Monday Night War timeline one was like
2K,
my absolute favorite.
no, Monday Night War was 13. It was
Yeah.
before 2K, and then they did 30 years of WrestleMania. The CM Punk one was really cool because they did 2 for that, and then like their DLC was actually all showcase. 16 was Austin. 17 was
Didn't they cut it out at some point?
they cut it out at 18. That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
But I forgot what 17 was.
It's fine.
Yeah, but not important. But they did like no, it was DLC. It was like a Hall of Fame showcase. But them doing the Four Horsewomen, like that's going to be a cool showcase mode because not only are you going to get like 4 different careers to pick from, but like you'll also get the weird side characters. Like you might get Alexa Bliss like debut match
So
or stuff like that.
I don't think you'll get to pick the which woman. I think it'll just be one story where you switch off.
Yeah,
constantly.
but you're gonna play as all four of them.
Yeah,
You're
well, the way you said
experiencing
it,
4 different careers.
No, it's
Yeah.
not 4 career modes. It's just
right?
the
It's
showcase
not
following 4 separate
it's not
careers.
pick Becky Lynch and then you follow Becky Lynch's
Right.
career. It's
No,
they're as a
like,
collective.
They
yeah.
could do they could honestly do that.
Where it's just like, oh, here's pick the Becky Lynch stories.
Yeah, just don't pick like the Bailey one. That's the worst one of them all.
That's
I'm
funny.
excited to have the NXT versions of all of them. And by
That's
that I
pretty
mean,
cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have the NXT version of Becky because that's the only different one.
Well, I don't know. Sasha had regular hair at one point.
Depending on how far back they go with Sasha,
Yeah.
she could also look different.
Yeah, because it's probably going to start at that Fatal 4-Way.
Bailey is extremely the same.
Yeah,
No
so is
change
Charlotte.
at all.
Yeah.
Well, she got that robe at least.
That's true. And they stopped putting words on her clothing.
And,
What's Doit?
See the God damn, I forgot about that. That's a deep cut. I don't really care about the showcase. That's never been my thing. I like the creation suite, and that's what depresses me because the creation suite is almost always the exact same, and they add new things, but like they never overhaul it. It's the same old shit.
Hey, sometimes they remove things and add it as DLC.
That's true. Like that one year they removed women's wrestlers. Remember when they were
Oh,
like, "You
yeah.
can't create
15.
women in this game."
You could do the superstar threads.
That's what I did. I had I made, I think it was Lindsay at the time. I made Lindsay, but it was just like a female wrestler that I just
Like
completely
Natalia or
copied
some
and gave
shit,
her a new
yeah.
name. Yeah. The only thing in this game that looks any different that I'm not even really excited about it, I'm curious about it, is the WWE Originals or 2K Originals, where it very much looks like they are going to take some of those wild, crazy concepts. They showed like the swamp, Bray
They're
Wyatt's like
basically
swamp.
going to use the WWE Immortals
Right.
fighting game and just put those characters in the actual game.
Which-
Which like
So I thought it was from that line of like the zombie figures.
that could
I think
have
it's both.
That could have a hand in it too. Because
Yeah.
did you ever play the really? And I think they actually also did it for Mortal Kombat, but the cellular version of Injustice, the first one.
I spent as long as I did to have to like sync up the game with the console
To get the
version
extra
to get
stuff.
whatever the rewards.
So they did
I hated it.
they did like a palette swap
Yeah.
for WWE,
Mhm.
where like Daniel Bryan was half man, half goat. Triple H was in a suit. Like some of them were actually like real life. Some of them were
Like
fantastical.
yeah.
Like Super Cena. Like Superman was literally Cena. Or Cena was literally Superman. Like they did that.
And it looks like they're going to do something similar with this.
It looked because I was like, oh, they just did the Immortals game that they came out with 4 years ago.
But
We're
it's
so
like
excited
big
to
head
listen-
mode for last year, where it was like everybody's like, "Oh, this is so much fun." I'm like, "Yeah, it's funny."
I never used
but
it.
I don't give a shit.
They slowly. I mean, they kind of were leaning into it on the last game where like Terminator was a character.
Well,
That
okay.
was 16.
And so, okay, again, to be fair though, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Terminator was just his nickname. There is a difference, in my opinion.
I thought he was like the actual term. Like he wrestled as the Terminator. Like he was the robot.
He was Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they called him the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
He did have the Terminator theme music and entrance though.
Okay.
But he
One
they
with
very
a
much.
Well,
motorcycle.
that's better than what I thought.
better
'cause
than him actually being a
I genuinely
cyborg
thought it
from
was
the
supposed to be
future.
he was
Yeah.
a cyborg.
Was that 16 or 17?
That was.
Doesn't matter.
It was the same year they took Hogan out, so it was
16.
16.
But like, and did they do last year? Did they have like the House of Horrors and like the?
Yeah, that was
so,
that was the story mode dealt with the multiverse.
Okay, so they showed some of that like in the commercial too, and it's like, hey, so we're listening to our fans, giving you what you want. Ooh, you're tweaking the gameplay, huh? Oh,
No.
you're gonna like you're fixing the terrible bugs that always are in these games. I mean, well, other than that, like the hair's gonna look good. No. Instead, you get Frankenstrowman.
You get crazy storylines,
And it's
off
like,
the wall
so
characters.
like a full story mode, like an actual like voice acted and like no.
They
we're
did a
not-
pretty good job last year with voice act. Well, all right, not Cena.
Yeah, where it was
not
like
Cena.
Orton doing Cena's lines for him.
But the point being that like
No, I'm
they,
not.
they're not addressing anything that's been complained about. They're only adding in small new. This game is just, man, it feels like the same old shit. And every year
Yes.
I go, you really got to sell me on this one, 2K, and I buy it every year.
You didn't buy the collector last year though.
I didn't.
You both,
and,
you both do. 'Cause
and
that's
last
been my
year's
thing is like
collector's edition was awesome.
I haven't
It was.
bought a 2K game since the NXT one. The only reason I bought it was for the collectible stuff that came with it.
Yeah.
that
That
I'm
Balor
not entirely
statue.
sure where it is even anymore.
To
Ali,
be-
what was your problem with it?
Oh, damn it! I wanted to set it up. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, tell us.
My problem is we kind of like, I talked about this last week, and I was right.
You were half right.
I was right.
She said both names.
I was, but so I saw, and I think actually Sadie shared it, and it just said the man's on the cover. And I was like, oh, this is great. And I watched the video. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Then at the very end, I see both Becky and Roman.
Big dog.
Biggity dog.
At the bottom, I was like, They're doing both.
Yeah, there was the...
Why? Why is Roman there? Because even in the picture, like, it's Becky. They planned for it to be Becky, and then someone in the room was just like...
He beat cancer?
No.
No, that might be exactly what was said.
Someone might have said that, or they might have said, but just a woman? Because that could have also been said. For
Both
how
of 'em.
many years have they just had one person on the cover?
So, I've been ready for this. I've been studying for these exact moments on this show this week. All right, so I'll just give you the rundown. It has been one superstar since 2012, so before 2K owned it.
So before they even switched it over to 2K.
The last time it was multiple people was 2011. It was like Miz, Cena, and somebody else.
Wasn't it Miz, Cena, and Lashley?
No, Lashley wasn't in it.
Oh, no, that one was Lashley, Cena, and
Taker. That was
Undertaker.
2008.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, it has been 7 years of one superstar
7
athlete.
years. They set this precedent
Cover
before 2K took over.
Yes.
And they put a woman on the cover, and that's the first year there's 2 people on the cover.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not
'cause
shitty. I'm just saying I've been ready. I've been
I know.
studying for this exact
I
moment.
don't understand why they didn't do what I said last week. Is there somebody at the door? Yeah. What I said last week of make it a reversible cover. Put... Okay, yeah, he's cussing at somebody. I don't know what's happening.
It's Tanner.
Oh. Anyway, so it's Kofi on one side and Becky on the other side. Like, why would you not do
14?
Why would you not do a reversible cover? Like 14, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand the point of putting Becky and Roman on at the same time.
It should have it should have been Becky with both the belts.
Yes,
like that.
that's what I
Like
said.
like that should have been the cover.
Yeah.
and then if you want to do an inverse one, then put Roman on that one, or Kofi with the WWE title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like on the other side,
Because
because both
of-
of those were like those. I don't mean any disrespect to Seth Rollins, but like people were so burnt out on that story and on Lesnar that his win felt lesser.
Yeah.
So Kofi and Becky, those were the two big stories, especially with that's the first time a women's match has main evented a WrestleMania.
Right.
Yep.
So I was bummed to see, which granted, like that was the rumor from like a few days beforehand, was that they were going to have multiple people on. And that's why in the group chat, I was like, oh, it'll be Becky, Roman, and Hogan. Cause this is the first year Hogan will be back in it, isn't it?
Yep. Since 2015.
So I could definitely see that.
He was dropping off pizza for me.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
like, is he just coming in and out?
That's why I left the second time was to unlock the back door,
Okay.
and then he showed up to the front door.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So now I got to unlock. Now I got to lock 2 doors.
I mean, I'll lock it behind me because I have to go and get my prescription. I have to take here in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because I left it in my car because I'm dumb. But so I was like, okay, so it'll be Becky, Roman, and Hogan, because this will be the big, and maybe the showcase will be like not Hogan focused, because I don't think that they're ready to go like all in on him like that.
But haven't
Yeah.
they done
But he
Hogan
could
before?
play-
No.
But they could have he could play like like that could be a mode or DLC or something.
Yeah.
So I got 2 out of 3 right. But yeah, it is kind of like it is shitty that it's it's
Or not put all 4 women on. Especially if you've got the women for the Evolution and the what the fuck was it called? 4 horsewomen
Showcase.
for the showcase. Why not put all 4 of them on the cover? That would have been really cool.
They've
This
only-
is the best time to ever make the cover women
I still
specific.
think the just Becky with both belts, like that is an
Yeah.
iconic image.
I
with
honestly-
Kofi on the other side.
Yeah.
There you go.
I honestly think that they are afraid that their sales will dip.
No,
If
yeah,
it's
that's
just-
why. No, that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
You see, I disagree. I think that putting a female on a cover like this sells more because boys like to look at women.
How many people were complaining about having a female character in Battlefield because of
But don't you
it's
think that's
historically
different, though?
accurate?
But
It's
that's
not
different.
historically
No, that's
accurate.
not a fair argument because you're talking about an historical war and adding that in versus professional wrestling, which has women in wrestling. I think it would have been a different thing.
That same crowd is going to complain that they're only doing it because of the SJWs or make them a wrestling less cool.
That's a better argument. yeah.
Also, Ali, to answer your questions from last week, the Day of Reckoning covers did have women on them, but the GameCube games were always kind of seen as like the side games for WWE. On the PlayStation 2,
Even though they were better.
you're not wrong. Well, 19. And Days
What
of
other
Reckoning.
What other game are you able to beat up construction workers?
That was
That
19.
that wasn't Dave Reckoning.
And that was Angle. But the last time that like a woman was prominently on the cover was SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain, and it was Tori Wilson. Like either on the footer or the header of the case,
The
in
side
a bikini,
picture, yeah.
because it was the first year that they introduced bra and panties matches into the game.
But that was on the back. That was on the cover. So
No, she was on. She was in the front of. She was on the front cover.
But
No
I'm pretty
matter
sure-
what, this point isn't helping anything.
No. I was just again. I listened whenever I went to Stride this weekend. And I was like, okay, Allie has all these questions. I
Plus-
literally know them all in my head. I'm going to store them.
If you want to check out a good game, a wrestling game with women in it that is a little bit more for the women's movement, there's a great game. It's called Rumble Roses.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I honestly thought you were about to go into the next story.
I didn't even look at it yet. But my last thing, I honestly think it wasn't a matter of they thought Becky wouldn't sell as much. I truly believe it's just they want to push Roman Reigns more. And I think Roman's who they want on there. And it's the little downward picture, right? Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, it's in the footer.
I think they wanted Roman on it no matter
She's
what.
also like almost the same color as the background.
Well, yeah.
It's
But they knew they had to put Becky on because the fans were going to riot. So I think this was their compromise. They wanted Roman on the cover because Roman is the guy. He is the one they want you to pay attention to. Becky was the one that everyone is paying attention to. So they went, okay, we'll put them both on the cover because we got to have Roman on there. So I don't think it was they were thinking, oh, Becky's not going to sell. I think they're thinking, oh, shit, we have to put Becky on here or else people are going to get pissed. That's my theory.
I'm pretty sure it's because I don't think it's going to sell.
Well, maybe it's both.
They're not mutually exclusive. And it also kind of like the last few months, really, it kind of feels like they've kind of put Roman a little bit on the back burner. Like he hasn't been as heavily featured. Like he's still being booked very similarly, aside from this week and last week. He's still being booked similar, but it feels like all of that attention and energy and terrible writing that they were giving to Roman has all been moved to Seth.
Yeah.
Because boy, when did Seth Rollins turn into such a geek?
Yeah.
Like it's unfortunate. It's like, oh man, I know, because it's you could at least make the argument with Roman of you never really got to kind of see what he could do, aside from when he was with the Shield. Everything else has been that like, nope, shove down your throat, everything. Whereas when all their attention was on Roman, Seth, they just kind of let him do his own thing, and he's phenomenal. And now we're seeing that difference between, we're not, Seth's there, let him feud with Ambrose and do whatever he wants.
Someone took a shine to Seth and said, let's write for him.
Hey, we're gonna really focus on you. And it's like, ooh.
Maybe all that attention, all that shit he said online about like Will Ospreay and stuff, the writers were like, wow, he stuck up for us. Let's stick up for him and write for him. And Seth's in the background going, no, don't need it. In other video game wrestling news, two things. One, I don't think it's on the list. I didn't see it. Brawlhalla.
I didn't add it on there just because it's like a smaller.
Yeah, it's
thing.
just a quick thing. Brawlhalla is adding a new event called Brawl Down or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And you're going to be able to play as was it The Rock, Becky Lynch, Kofi Kingston, and John
Xavier
Cena.
Woods, not Kofi.
Kofi.
Yeah.
Why would it not? Well, okay, I guess it makes because Kofi's
because it's a video game.
Yeah, and Xavier's the big video game nerd.
It does make more sense to have Kofi since he's the WWE champion.
Plus, isn't he like the up down down champion all the time because he's that good at video games?
No.
That's all I'm saying.
No,
Who's it right now?
Joey Headrocker.
That's right.
And now and he's gone through so much competition that they have to do a tournament to determine the number one contender.
I'm thinking Barry Corbin. Personally.
Up, down. I love him on up, down, down so much.
I love him on the internet.
Yeah.
He's such a dick.
It's real good.
That's coming out pretty soon. Check that out. It actually looked kind of fun. Also, Fire Pro Wrestling World is getting Stardom DLC. Dalton, tell us about that.
They just announced it today.
Asa, tell us about it.
10.
Oh, you got more? Okay. I thought you didn't know.
They haven't announced any names yet, but it's going to be 10 women, and it's going to be the New Japan treatment where they all get unique entrances, music, and voice lines. So with the New Japan of Fire Pro, whenever, because Kenny Omega was in it, whenever he did the gun, he would actually go bang.
Yeah.
And then some of his signature stuff, if he said something in the middle of it, that would pop up in the game. That also happened for other people. My favorite old video game, I love the voices in the old No Mercy game, or WCW especially, because it would be, I think it was referee Pee Wee Anderson. They would have a little cartoon version of him pop up, and you would put somebody in a submission hold, and I'll never forget, he would go, give up? Give up? It's a lot better than rope break. I've heard that so many times in my life.
Rope break.
I just have it ingrained in my skull.
I don't remember what game it was, but I remember the first time that the referee was actually in the ring with you, and the first thing I did was see if I could hit him.
Oh yeah, it was
and
PS2.
I got disqualified for it. I was
think
like,
it was-
oh, cool.
Actually,
one-
pushing my glasses onto my nose, the WWF games by LJN on Super Nintendo had
Eat a
refs in them,
dick.
and you could punch them. You could.
the good games.
Oh, Rumble was awesome.
I want to say it was not just Bring It because that was 2. The third one after that, Know Your Role. I think it was Know Your Role.
I didn't play the SmackDown games until way after.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I had an N64 and I had the best wrestling games, No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000, and the WCW ones.
Yeah,
'cause
Revenge is
it's the same.
really-
It's the same engine, just
It
with
is.
a different roster.
It was the only game that ever captured WCW correctly, you know, and it did it so well. Because even the one that came before it, World
No,
Tour,
Backstage Assault really did.
you almost said Backstage a shit, and you were right. You were right. before you said
'cause
it.
That
really-
one didn't even have a ring, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
all,
what-
it was all
it
just.
really showed how much of a clusterfuck.
No.
WCW was in the 90 or 2000 2001.
I'm pretty sure Backstage Assault had a ring, but it was heavy on Backstage. It was Mayhem that had no ring.
Nope, Backstage Assault. It was literally only based around
I'm gonna
Backstage.
look it up,
like-
and if
Backstage
I'm right,
Brawls.
yeah,
because
Mayhem was still it was EA, but there was also a ring. Because Mayhem was the one with the T-Rex arms.
yeah, you may actually, yeah,
Oh yeah, where they?
yeah.
They,
I think you're right about
Now
that
again,
one.
I wish we had video because I did the T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
And then Asa to confirm it also did the T-Rex arms.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Now
Oh
that
no,
you
I know
mention
I'm
that.
right. There's no thinking. Like,
Well, agree to disagree.
you mother. Oh my god.
Cain Velasquez debuted at Triple Mania,
Yeah.
and from everything I heard, it went really well.
Yep. He teamed with Cody and Psycho Clown, I think. Because it was a trios. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Psycho Clown?
Yeah, I watched that episode of It's Always Sunny because D dressed up as it.
God. Fucking damn it.
Damn, shoes kept squeaking.
Son of a bitch, I hate you. I fucking hate you. I should have known.
Cody was the painter.
God.
I've never seen Psycho Clown.
Yeah, they
I'll
had
pull a
they had a
picture of
trios
him up.
match, and yeah, he would like it's annoying how good that went.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And he also talked about work. I read an interview where he was talking about Daniel Cormier and being and possibly doing a tag team with him in wrestling, and like it's crazy that.
It's just Brock Lesnar tag team, just like no one's going to beat them. Although that said, Cormier and Velasquez versus AOP is a match I really want. And I don't know why.
I want a stable that's Cormier, Velasquez, Lesnar, and then Matt Riddle's like their little bitch. And they're just like legit badasses.
Matt Riddle will never be in a stable with Brock Lesnar.
I really like Matt Riddle, but when I read his stuff online, it makes it
It's-
makes it
it's-
difficult to like Matt
Yeah,
Riddle.
it's like, oh, I wish you weren't saying so many things.
Now he's feuding with Jericho online, and
Love
Jericho
it.
just shuts him down constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And Riddle's only response is to dude bro up and be like, well, fuck that. Why don't you go say that shit to my face?
Yeah. It's like,
God.
I will insult you online, but as soon as someone says anything bad about me,
Were you looking something up, Dalton? I forget.
Yeah, I was trying to find the picture of Psycho Clown.
Psycho
I'm still
Clown.
looking.
This one is a great story, and this makes you feel good. The next Saudi Arabia show will allegedly be on Halloween.
yup.
There's
Such
Psycho
a-
Clown.
Someone
Isn't that the lead singer of like Twisted?
I don't know.
Or I think
no one knows. It's
Maybe
not.
not.
It's,
Who knows
It's
who
not
Twisted
ICP.
is?
It's not
Ooh,
ICP.
yeah.
Someone posted. It's like, oh, I got monkey pawed when I wished for Halloween Havoc to come back. It's not confirmed yet, but that is the rumor going out is that because they're going to be doing these shows for another 8 years, 9 years. I don't know how long they've been doing them.
10-year contract.
But yeah, it's a 10-year contract. So
Yay.
this one's on Halloween.
Yay, just means I won't watch it on a different day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see who they're literally gonna dig up for this
I say don't
match.
watch it. Like it comes, it's like because of time zones. Like it shows, like it'll pop up whenever I'm at work.
Mhm.
It'll be on a Thursday if it's.
Oh, this is a good
Halloween.
opportunity to have women wrestle because they can just dress them up as men because it's Halloween, and then they don't tell the Saudi Arabia people.
So like I'm at work whenever these shows
I'll go
go
get my
on,
medicine.
and I'll put it on while I'm working, and then I'll turn it completely on mute. And if I catch something, I'll pay attention to it if I can. That's how I realized. Like I pretty much watched. I was on lunch whenever the DX Brothers of Destruction match happened.
Yeah,
And boy, do I wish it was a different match whenever I was on lunch.
they always seem very missable.
Yeah.
Those shows, and it's never get good reviews.
They're glorified house shows.
Yeah, just with a big budget,
Because, like, I don't.
huge budget.
They don't really change titles a whole lot. If, like. I'm sure there's been some title changes, but they don't change them a whole lot. They bring in big names to get the nostalgia pop. But for, like, them, the nostalgia pop was, like, 4 days ago. Because like they just discovered wrestling apparently.
I'm gonna say that's
we
not
want
true.
fucking Yokozuna.
I'm gonna say that's
Yeah,
not
we
true.
all do. We all want him to still be alive.
They just found out about Harley Race. Not that he passed away. They just found
that
out
they-
that he
the
debuted.
guy, yeah.
We got Cassius Ohno news. Cassius Ohno and Aleister Black in the news. Okay, so we saw a story before
Let me get a hit of that water.
we saw a story before we did the show tonight, and it was on Philip DeFranco about this YouTuber, and I don't remember her name, Brooke Houts.
Oh, I was about to say, dumb bitch is what I was going to say.
She did this video with her dog, and I don't know if you heard this story, Asa, but apparently she had accidentally uploaded outtakes from the video of her actually abusing her dog, and she accidentally uploaded it. Someone caught
Why
it.
would you film it?
It was
like-
during the stream.
Yeah, it was during the
Oh,
stream.
she was streaming.
No.
Yeah.
She was filming a segment for her YouTube show. She just forgot to cut the part out.
Yeah.
She was recording the whole thing. She accidentally uploaded it. Someone caught it before she could delete it, saved it, and then reposted it. And everybody's coming out of the woodworks, call her a piece of shit. And two of those people are Cassius Ohno and Aleister Black.
Oh, I didn't know about this part.
Yeah, Cassius Ohno
I'm about to go like a tweet.
he posted her apology and just tore it down. And then Aleister Black also tore it down, and both very respectfully, like very serious ways. Not like a hey fuck you, I'm gonna destroy your life. Both very very respectful way. And yeah, it's a shitty situation. So any awareness I could create for that, I'm happy about. You'll also be hearing about that more tomorrow on After Dark. I'm not gonna spoil who the motherfucker of the week might be, but
Did you see the Twitch streamer who like spit vodka into her cat's mouth and like threw her when she got mad?
yeah, I thought this was the same person. Yeah,
That's where I thought you were going with it. Like
No,
when you
'cause
started talking about like video of, and she was like, "Nope, she did that live on a stream."
Yeah, I thought it was the same person when I heard about that, but turns out they're completely different. Apparently, there's just a lot of assholes out there who like to abuse animals. Who would've
really,
thought?
really are.
Hey, don't do me a favor. While I get this next story going, we go lock that front door back. Because I'm always afraid someone's going to walk in.
Yeah, you're good.
Hey, y'all open?
Yes.
Only open for the hottest wrestling news and opinions this side of the Mississippi, Missouri,
And the other side.
whatever it is. Oh, that's it for the news. Actually, let's head on to the weekly recaps here. We got Raw.
There were some major stories, but it was kind of light. Like just number wise light.
Yeah,
I
and I'll be right back. You cover that.
normally normally I type out notes of like what I want. Actually, I might have done Raw. I don't think I did SmackDown though. But SmackDown was easier.
Okay.
This is the lead up to SummerSlam. This is the big one. Raw had this segment with Seth Rollins coming out like limping his way down to the ring just to get annihilated by Brock Lesnar again for the just no real reason. I can't.
Yeah, but
It's
Ace,
hard
you're
to-
talking to
Just
me.
ignore
You're
him.
talking over me and like you're not on mic. Where did it go? I think I did do the list for Raw. No, I did not.
So did
Shit.
Lesnar. So like, I'm getting ready to go back to work. Like my first day back is tomorrow, and so like I've been actually going to sleep before like it's even airing.
Right.
Well, no, I did Borderlands with Jesse on Monday, but so did Lesnar's kill Rollins again?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Rollins
the matchup good.
Because the week before, like last week, he beat him and then like F5'd him onto the stretcher on
Yeah,
the side
yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
I saw
so
that.
Rollins came out like still injured from that, and then Lesnar just wrecked him again, kicked him in the ribs, and his ribs are all taped up. So, but then Rollins again refused medical treatment. He refused a stretcher. He walked out under his own power, but he's hurt. I don't get what this story is because he's just like. I really hope that SummerSlam is when he beats him legit.
Yeah,
Like completely clean,
doesn't
no
kick,
dick kicks.
Doesn't kick him in the dick. Like it is a wrestling match.
that's my. I mean, the logic would be that. But what I'm afraid was going to happen is that Lesnar's just going to beat his ass and win.
Because I think that's what's also going to happen.
That's what I think is probably most likely going to happen. Yeah.
Do
But
you remember when Edge feuded with Matt Hardy? When Matt
And-
Hardy came back?
I was listening. Attitude Era did the Attitude Era podcast. They did SummerSlam 2005, which was the first supposed to be match of that entire angle. And they were talking about like, so you have this babyface Matt, who's like his longtime
Hotter
girlfriend.
than fire.
Yeah, like his longtime girlfriend cheated on, like cheated on him, and like so you have this very sympathetic babyface, and then they shit on him.
Yep.
The entire feud, he won the
He won
cage
one cage
match.
match. Yep.
And then, but he like got his ass handed to him at SummerSlam to the point where they didn't even have a match. And then he lost the loser leaves Raw ladder match.
Yeah, they had a ref stoppage in their first match. In his first match, Edge had beat his ass so badly, and then when they actually had their match, Edge beat his ass so badly they stopped the fight. And it was like, how was this supposed to? What's this saying? And that's like Rollins now.
And I will steal the quote from the episode that I listened to. That's not a great way to start the biggest party of the summer.
No, not at all.
Which means you will hear me say that at least 4 times.
And Matt Hardy, I remember that time period because Matt Hardy would always say, okay, I know everyone's upset, but just pay attention to what happens. This is just the first chapter of the book. And then he's right. Eventually, after a couple years and him leaving for TNA, he did find a better character.
But Edge never put him over because at that point it was...
In fairness, Matt Hardy has had several great characters, just not in WWE.
Oh, no, version 2.0.
Version 2.0 was great.
That was
But
legitimately
like Big
good.
Money Matt,
Big
I
Money
enjoyed
was
that.
awesome. Yeah.
Other stuff on Raw.
I can slap a tornado. And then they have
Wasn't that V1?
Yeah. Well, he became version 2 later.
Okay.
Probably.
I don't know what's happening.
Because he switched from Netscape. And
I think it was only... Anyway, it was only version 1, but...
Well, agree to disagree.
All right, what's
Hey,
going on?
So he gets obliterated, cuts a promo. After, like they go through a commercial break, they cut the promo, and then he cuts the promo about like, no, the Universal Championship is everything to me. Like every beating that I take is worth it. So I don't know if they're just trying to make him look like tough, and I don't know.
Well,
It's
the best
weird.
way to make someone look tough is to have him get his ass handed to him constantly.
But he's refusing to stay down, and like I kind of get that, but
Well,
it
yeah,
doesn't look good. I think what matters most is SummerSlam, because if he just loses at SummerSlam, then
if Brock Lesnar beats him by like ref stoppage or something, he's dead. He's dead in the water. They'll recover him, but like he'll never be the same. Remember when was it Sami Zayn that lost to Joe by ref stoppage? Or no, he was
lost
Kevin
to,
Owens.
He lost to Kevin Owens. It was whenever he lost the NXT belt.
Yeah, I
Because he
hated it then, too.
No, I loved that because he literally power bombed him into oblivion to the point to where he made the ref stop the match.
Yeah, but did that make Sami Zayn look good?
It made Kevin Owens look like a killer.
but it didn't. It also really didn't take anything away from Zayn.
It did for me personally, and I'm not everybody. This is just my opinion.
It built
But
sympathy, and that's what you want as a babyface.
Yeah, but sometimes it's okay for the babyface just to fight back and to be equal.
And they typically do, but like but how often do we get a heel that is legit? Like that's why it was so good for Kevin Owens, is because it's finally not a chicken shit heel. Like Kevin Owens is dangerous.
But do we need
scary.
that with
He didn't have
Lesnar
to-
now?
No, not at all.
You know?
That's why I'm saying I don't think you can make the same argument, because that was one match.
Yeah.
This has been 2 weeks now before the match even takes place.
Also, I think it was supposed to be a longer, drawn-out storyline, but Sami Zayn, like 2 weeks later, threw his arm out at Monday Night Raw facing Cena. And then was
just
gone.
on his entrance, right?
Yeah, and then was gone for a long time. So I'm pretty sure that was the...
I've never been a fan of like ref stoppage. Oh my god, he got his ass beat so bad that we had to stop the match.
It works really well sometimes. They did it randomly on NXT a couple weeks ago with Matt Riddle, where they had like another striker that was more of like an MMA style fighter, and the match stopped via TKO. And I texted you. I was like, I hate that because it's not. They are very much just portraying UFC. If you have somebody kicking someone's head in, and like the wrestler going like he's not defending, and then the ref throws it off that way, that's fine, but you don't base that around the match. Like that's a different way to skin the cat. Where it's just like, all right, that's a different way to end a match.
Broadway.
Oh,
someone's
sounded like a PS4 startup.
like I thought it sounded
No,
like
it's-
the Ice Cream Man, but like it's 9:30, Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
He needs to stop patrolling
No,
our
he's
neighborhoods.
hitting downtown.
Oh.
This is prime ice cream time.
Sugar Chic's gonna be pissed.
They're closed.
What?
Wait, they close?
No, it's
No,
9:30.
like,
They're not
they're
open.
not gonna-
Damn it, Dalton! Ace, go on with the next story. Stop talking to him.
The big thing, the Raw was actually there's like a lot happened, but nothing like in the context of SummerSlam. Iconics lost the the tag team championship after not getting to do anything with it. After Sasha and Bailey didn't get to do anything with it.
Which very funny enough because who won? It was the
Bliss and Cross.
Bliss and Cross.
Blix.
Did you see about when the Kabuki Warriors came out
Oh, and they had Io Shirai's handle and
instead of Kairi Sane's?
instead of Asuka's.
Oh, was it?
I think it was
Asuka's?
Kairi. I think it was Kairi Sane. It had Kairi Sane and Io
Io
Shirai
Shirai.
instead of
Uh-oh.
That it's one of those things that it's easy to make a that's racist joke, and I'm sure it was just a
But it was probably just since
From when
they
they
were
were
a tag team in
before,
NXT,
yeah.
and like they've had 2 appearances on the main roster in
Yeah,
actual matches.
Good job on building up the Kabuki Warriors, giving them a title shot, and losing it to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Don't forget last week. It was supposed to be Mandy Rose, Fire and Desire versus the Iconics, and if they won, they got a championship match. That match just never happened. Like it was supposed to be on SmackDown last week, and it didn't.
Did they win that match?
No,
No, it never happened.
No, it never happened.
So, they did the backstage
2 weeks,
segment?
2 weeks ago on SmackDown, there was the backstage segment where Mandy Rose told Sonya Deville, we wrestle the Iconics next week, and if we beat them, it was a really weird segment. She's like, we get a title match next week, and if we win, we get a championship match against the Iconics.
Yeah.
And then the match just never happened.
Just like the Daniel Bryan huge earth-shattering announcement.
That still has yet to happen.
Fuck you, WWE. Like, seriously.
We
Vince?
got The Fiend used the mandible claw on Kurt Angle. It was supposed to be Cedric Alexander versus Drew McIntyre with him as special guest referee. Fiend Drew McIntyre attacked Cedric before, like, during his entrance.
So we were both right. So they do have a thing where he's feuding with Demon Balor, but he's also randomly attacking people.
Just Balor. Just Balor, not Demon Balor.
Oh, sorry.
They haven't plugged that yet.
He's feuding with Balor because I remember I said I didn't want him just like randomly attacking people.
Right.
Like give him a purpose. Well, they gave him a purpose against Balor, and it was pretty good. But they're still having him attack random.
And I think
people.
they're just doing that just to make him look dangerous. Which against Kurt Angle, who put over Baron Corbin in his last match, Drew McIntyre even mentioned like, "Hey, I kind of made you a bitch." The last time we were in the ring together.
Also, was I the only one that I watched the top 10 moments or whatever whenever I saw The Fiend appear, and I thought, oh, please do not do Sister Abigail to Kurt Angle.
No, yeah. No, that's
thank God it was the mandible
That's why
claw.
I love that they're letting him keep the mandible claw. Like he took that from Foley. Like I love that as a secondary finisher.
His screaming while he does it,
yeah.
You know, it's very creepy.
He's amazing.
He's very creepy.
He is probably my favorite thing in WWE right now.
Okay.
And Kofi Kingston is champion. Like, but I love Brad. My only nitpicky complaint is whenever they do the lights out thing, it's been the same way every time.
The same, like
it's the
exact
same sequence
positions.
and everything. Like I thought that was so unique the first time that I kind of hoped it would be like a just random,
more sporadic.
Yeah,
But I mean, it kind of makes sense if you.
I get it. But,
Like, because when you watch Friday the 13th, what do you want to hear?
yeah, you want to hear the. Which you can still keep the sound of the lights going off and stuff. Just it's always in the like okay, top left hand corner. Now it's over off screen here.
I get what you're saying.
And again, that is the tiniest little nitpick thing. That's not an actual complaint.
Allie, who was the killer in the first Friday the 13th movie?
It was the mom.
Oh, I wanted you to get it wrong, so I go wrong. And then everyone at home that's listening right now, they all went, it was Jason. Well, you're all a bunch of idiots. Hey, so go on.
Okay. Where did crap? I lost it. So we got it was 6-man. Started as a tag team match, turned into a 6-man tag. The OC versus Ricochet, Biggie, and Xavier for reasons.
It was originally supposed to be. What was the original lineup? Or maybe I'm thinking of SmackDown. No, I think I was thinking of SmackDown because apparently they rewrote SmackDown the day of.
Oh yeah, like 90 minutes before
and
the show
butchered
aired.
the entire show. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a whole other thing.
Trish Stratus was on Raw.
That was
That's always a plus.
Her and well, she was there. It was her and Natalya versus Charlotte and Becky. Charlotte attacked Becky during the match. Natalya refused to break the sharpshooter, and then Trish Stratus literally stood on the apron the whole time.
Hey, those are the best matches. We're gonna pay you, fly you out here, and you just stand on the ring apron. Yeah, I'm good.
But so
anytime I can see Trish Stratus, I'm happy. I love Trish Stratus.
We got more Rey Mysterio versus Andrade, which is like just let them wrestle forever.
So that was going to be my I understand why you love the Fiend and like that, but like Andrade is the best thing going in WWE right now.
Well, him and Selena Vega because she's awesome.
I disagree only because he's used so start and stop, whereas the Funhouse has been a consistent thing for a long time now. Whereas Andrade is amazing and I love him and I loved what they did last week where he ripped the mask. They ripped Rey Mysterio's mask off during the gauntlet match. But I don't have any confidence that this is going to be a sustained thing. Mm-hmm. They're already redoing a feud they already did.
So you're saying he's like Dolph Ziggler 2.0?
He has the potential to be. That was how the show ended, was with Ziggler talking about his match with The Miz at SummerSlam. Is like, oh no, we're wrestling on SmackDown. Oh yeah, after.
No, on Raw. He said it was going to be on Raw.
Oh yeah, we're like, no, we're wrestling on Raw after.
Allie, do you know who Dolph Ziggler is going to fight at SummerSlam, which is a week away?
It is this Sunday. That's Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
It's Goldberg.
It's Goldberg.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been shitting on Goldberg randomly
Dolph
in promos.
Ziggler's next. So apparently the big story that I read was that Paul Heyman is huge on Goldberg. And he said he wants Goldberg to be his, like, Bruno Sammartino, basically. And he'll bring Goldberg back occasionally to wrestle and to be big money moments. And he said as long as he's in charge, Goldberg will have a spot on Raw, which was very strange. I didn't know Heyman was so big on Goldberg.
I mean, it makes sense, like, used sporadically and well enough. And, like, if as long as this is a
competent match.
A quick match.
No, yeah. If this is a however long the entrances take, plus 12 seconds.
Smash and grab.
Spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you don't think Dolph's going to win?
What if they did?
If he just super kicked him and laid him out once?
Yeah, like he goes for the spear, catches him with a super kick, 1, 2, 3.
Holy shit, that'd be kind of incredible. I'd pop.
Yeah.
I'd pop.
I'd be on board for whatever. Okay, whatever you feed me with Dolph Ziggler, I'm on board.
But I'm honestly glad that they're putting Goldberg in another match after that Undertaker debacle.
And that's
But
why.
See, it was after that Undertaker debacle that I was just like,
Now just be like, hey, don't headbutt the fucking door on
Yeah.
your way
It's
out.
It's a
Let's
really
be a little
dumb,
careful.
like...
So be a little careful. And then we'll have him fight Riddle next.
Phew, no. And then the big the big thing from Raw though, and I was really kind of bummed like that I wasn't here last week to talk about it from what happened on SmackDown last week, where the forklift driver knocked over the scaffolding.
I
That
ignored
there
it.
was conveniently the cameras on the scaffolding that fell on Roman, and then so Samoa Joe starts the show as like, hey. Everyone needs to stop talking shit. I had nothing to do with this.
he got fined, quote unquote.
Yeah, well, no,
because-
he got fined because he...
At the airport, because somebody was asking him about
Yeah,
it.
someone got in his face at the airport. Like a WWE person was like filming him at the airport, and he like knocked the camera out of his hand. So they fined him for that. He's like, "Hey, y'all need to quit like dragging my name through the mud. I had nothing to do with this. I demand an apology." And then it was a really awkward segment where they're like, "Hey, Roman's on his way. Roman, get out here. Roman, get out here. All right, if you're not going to come out, I'm going to come to you." So he walks back and someone's like, "Hey, he's pulling into the parking lot now. Like, they told you he was on his way. Like, why did you immediately assume he's just there?"
How the fuck does Roman Reigns get the show 40 minutes late?
Before it's, yeah.
Well, some people can do that.
Yeah, when you're Roman, you can do what you want. So Joe, like, walks towards the car. Roman gets out, and then another car comes flying at Roman's car. Roman dives back in. They hit the back corner of the car and then drive off. And then Roman is like, can't decide which body part hurts
Well, he's hurt so bad.
from being moved. It looked dumb. They even then on SmackDown did the thing that I hate where there was a camera on the bumper of the car that hit them. And it's just like, get out of here. But the cool thing that the thing that I did like out of it though was like Joe legit was like, hey, no, stay down. Like, we need a medic. Like, he seemed actually concerned. So I actually really like this story.
Until they reveal it's Joe.
I don't think they will. I genuinely like.
Rikishi.
He
did it for The Rock.
He did it for this Joe. No, what I think is it's going to be is this is going to get a. I think it like I could see it being Joe being the mastermind, but I don't think that's going to be revealed until like
The very end.
It's going to be the Triple H like who hit Stone Cold thing, where it's, it was Triple H or it was Rikishi. Oh, but it was
he did it
Rikishi because of Triple H.
My favorite one was when it was Triple H that did Shawn Michaels. And Shawn was like, we have this footage. Now, I've been told that science and computers can clean it up. And it goes from this super grainy picture to like HD quality. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
But yeah, so then to jump forward to SmackDown to continue the actual story, what was actually like a super cool Roman moment is he walks into the locker room, which is all just like 205 Live guys for some reason.
Oh, no.
And he's like, everybody out except for Buddy. And everybody left except for Buddy Murphy. And then he like interrogated Buddy, roughed him up a little bit. And Buddy revealed that he saw Rowan. And he's like, you saw Daniel Bryan and Rowan? No, I just saw Rowan.
Because the original thing was that it was Buddy Murphy. That was the rumor. That was the...
Well, he was in the hall. Like,
Right.
he was in
and
the
I'm not saying
hallway.
the rumor is in that's what they were planning. That was what they wanted you to think.
And then
was,
apparently,
it was Buddy Murphy.
Rowan was also in the hallway. Like, you could actually see him somewhere. I haven't gone back to rewatch it, so I don't know if that's true or not. But, so yeah, so he's like, no, I saw it was Rowan. So then Daniel Bryan and Rowan, who just got done with their amazing tag team match against Big E and Xavier, because that match was awesome. Daniel Bryan, like, kind of looked surprised. Like, he didn't play it, like, way over the top, but he, like, Rowan just was, like, stonewall.
As he is wont to do.
Yeah, but Bryan was just kind of like, what? I don't, like, he seemed more confused than, like, mad about being caught. Or that Rowan was caught, so that might be the direction they're going with it.
What if it's Luke Harper?
That's what I was hoping. Like, that's genuinely what I kind of hope it is it's
Well, you know they
this
keep
is like-
adding months to his contract.
Yeah, so use him. So yeah, they actually give some like Rowan, or they give Harper something substantial to do, like have Harper restart the Wyatt family.
Or join up with Brian and Rowan.
Because that's what some people talked about, like having Brian restart the Wyatt family with Harper and Rowan and let him do whatever he
And then
wants.
call them the Reapers. Because
God,
that's their
that was so
actual
much-
name.
So much cooler.
Reaper Madness.
So I don't know. I think it's cool. Some people are speculating it's like the Usos are going to get involved, which hit and run.
That all right.
That's-
Son of a bitch.
So that was one of the things. Like one of the
That's the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, the shitty wrestling pages things I'm on like Facebook. It was like, oh, Jimmy got behind the wheel again.
Yeah.
Like son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's my exact. And then I like shared it to like 3 other people. I was like, God damn.
So I don't know. I don't think we're going to get any sort of meaningful resolution at SummerSlam. We might. I kind of hope the rumored Roman Buddy Murphy match happens. As long as that turns into as long as that's a match.
It's competitive.
Because Roman put him over on Twitter. He was like, "Hey, no, this dude's like really good, and I'm looking forward to him being in like a big fight environment."
What I'm worried about
I
is that they
dismiss
will
it
just
to
drop
205
the
Live.
story.
Yeah, it's Roman, so I don't think they will.
Right.
But I don't think we're going to get a resolution. Like I kind of think this might be their story going forward. Like the big summer story is who tried to kill Roman.
Well, it's the biggest party of the summer.
SmackDown had a video package for the WWE Championship match. Neither person actually appeared, which was real weird.
Ziggler got a really quick victory. Actually, kind of 2, didn't he? Because he, what was it?
No, he assaulted Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, and then he got put in a match, and he won in like 15 seconds.
Against Ali.
Yeah. Thank God.
You know,
Thank
the person
God beat Ali to fucking Dolph Ziggler.
who's challenging for the IC title.
Ali. So I was at.
Is that official?
I don't know for sure.
Double check.
I'll pull
Ali
up the,
was at
SummerSlam.
the live show from Sunday last week.
Yeah.
Him and Nakamura had a really, really, really good match. Like,
That is not is not on the card, so that might just be what they're building towards.
yeah. If that like house show match is indicative of what they're just trying to get stuff pieced together for, which is usually what those loops are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to see what the actual TV match will be.
I mean, I was excited for it when they were teasing it. The other thing, and then the Kevin Owens show with Shane McMahon. Kevin was like, "No, you know what? I want you to put your career on the line." And Shane's like, "No, you already agreed to the stipulation." And then him and Elias, I think, beat the shit out of Owens, dumped the announce table on top of him, and
they're really using that a lot.
yeah.
Look, as the Shane McMahon of CCW, I have a whole new respect for what he does.
Also,
You throw a guy that doesn't belong there in and have him get over on people.
story that I forgot to add.
Upsetting.
Story that I forgot to add, because you're the only person that thinks you don't belong there.
There's one other guy.
Bobby Lashley underwent surgery on his elbow, I think.
I didn't know
He might be out until November.
That sucks.
So I mean, we're already in August, so it's
Oh yeah,
But
I
it's-
just
Shit!
but like
It's only 4 months till Christmas.
shut your whore mouth.
Oh my God.
so the
I'm
we're-
old.
I'm kind
I'm
of
gonna
like
die.
it would be like if Lesnar retains, let Lashley come in and like give us Lashley Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like how that hasn't happened yet,
It's
I don't
a-
know.
or Strowman Lesnar.
No, they're not really doing anything with him either right now.
God, that boy's cooler than a penguin. Thank you.
Okay.
Where did
So I was really bummed out that like Leo Rush ended up getting like whatever happened with him because I was really enjoying those two as like a group.
mm-hmm.
Like they were fun
You mean
together.
him being a complete asshole?
on stage or off stage?
Off stage.
Yeah.
I think on stage is fine. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, no, but he very much apparently has just such the worst reputation behind the scenes, and that's why he got pulled. Allegedly, it's all allegedly.
Yeah, but I say we just don't know.
Those are the big things from SmackDown. Really, I like the Roman stuff. I just wish that we got another Firefly Funhouse where he talked about fear and courage, and it's good. He's so good. Aleister Black beat Sami Zayn. That was the one I was forgetting because that was going to be a SummerSlam match, but they just moved it to SmackDown and he beat him in like less than 6 minutes. And then
gives a
the weird Shelton Benjamin.
What are they doing
Story-
with Shelton Benjamin?
I don't know.
paying him.
I did not know that I had heard about this interview where he just looked around for a little while and then smiled.
And he's
I
been-
thought that was fake. No,
No.
that's absolutely real.
And they've been doing it like on and off. It's like the Mojo Rawley thing. It's been on and off for months now.
I'm starting to think that they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It's
there.
rumors.
They're about to say they have too many people on their roster.
Feels that way. Impact this week. Last week, I guess. Sammy Callahan is like quickly becoming like one of my favorite parts of Impact.
He's an incredible talent.
And
he
OVE.
did one stupid thing that I absolutely hated,
Right.
And I've always tried to forgive him for
And
it.
then like the fallout from it also was kind of shitty, but
Yeah.
whatever. Because Jake, is it Jake or Dave? One of the Chris brothers is the X Division champion now.
It's Jake.
I'm pretty sure it's Jake. And so like they're weaving like several different stories together with Sammy still feuding with Tessa Blanchard, him seeming kind of jealous of Chris being the X Division champion. They got Madman Fulton in there. It's just really cool. I like what they're doing. There's also some dumb stuff like what Ace Austin and Eddie Edwards are going through, where they literally did like a Dick in the Box bit that was wholly unnecessary.
Holy?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of.
I thought Allie would like that joke since she liked that joke you made earlier about dicks or whatever, Dalton.
It is Jake, by the way.
It is Jake. Okay, that's what I thought.
I was actually helping Asa.
The North beat Wentz and Trey, I think. It was two of the Rascals. I just don't remember the pairing off the top of my head. And oh no, Impact's cool. Check it out. It's on Twitch. There's stuff, but there's so much wrestling this weekend though.
You saying Moose just reminded me of a picture I'm about to send you.
They absolutely
Moose
need
is.
it.
Oh, I simultaneously do and don't like what they're doing with Moose because he's doing like a break the fourth wall.
Deadpool?
Vent my frustrations with management because he talks about like, all right, 4 of your last 5 Impact champions are now out of the company, but I've been here for day one. I gave my nickname Mr. Impact. Like, so what? Now I'm wrestling this nobody, which they kind of brought in Falaba this week, who is fun.
I'm still waiting for Austin Aries.
So he's trying to feud with he's starting to feud with Don Callis, who's the heel commentator, but he's also like one of the legit owners. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
A heel commentator that's also an owner?
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No.
Hate it.
And then Elgin started to so it looks like Elgin's moving forward with his feud with Rhino. Rhino unmasked and cut like a very F-wordy ECW style promo, but he also straight up mentioned like WWE just wanted to pay me to be in catering, but I didn't want to do that, so now I'm here. It's like, how did you do this? How did any of this work out? I don't get it. But Impact's on Twitch. Watch it.
ECW.
It's cool.
ECW.
They do.
It's been dead for 30 years now. Let it die.
They do cool stuff over there. You should
Only 20.
More
but
people
yeah.
should be watching it.
What about Ring of Honor Summer Supercard? They're two different things, aren't
I got
they?
their They are
No,
very much.
Summer Supercard is...
Okay. I
They
couldn't
are
tell
very
which one.
much two different things.
I
That is
thought
also this.
Oh, is it
Friday.
really two different things?
Yeah, Summer Supercard is ROH.
That's what I just said.
No,
ROH
he was saying
Supercard.
Summer Supercard.
Oh, I thought you were talking about was Impact and Summer Supercard.
No,
separate.
I said ROH. It's just it says ROH Summer, and then it like there's a space, and then the next line says Supercard. So I didn't know if those were two different things. Or if
Gotcha.
it's the same
No,
thing.
that was sorry. That is the
Okay.
same thing. Like I said, I thought you meant like Impact Wrestling and
when
ROH
I-
Summer Supercard.
When I saw Supercard, I legitimately thought of the mobile game, and I thought maybe they had done something like really
which is
crazy.
under maintenance right now.
But no, that is that's Friday, so it's August 9th. Looks like a really solid card. PJ Black versus Silas Young.
I did see that one. That looks going to be good.
PC
Even though I'm not a big fan of Silas Young for obvious reasons.
Villain Enterprises, PCO, and Brody King versus The Kingdom, TK Orion and Vinny Marsagelia. I don't realize I don't think
Vinny
I've ever said his
Vici.
name.
I know. I know who. You're
It's
talking
just
about,
like I was like, oh man, I'm blanking on his name. Lifeblood, Bandito, and Mark Haskins versus Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham. That match will probably be stupid phenomenal. Rush versus Dalton Castle in a no DQ match.
Love Dalton Castle.
Very
Very sexual.
ROH World Television Championship. Shane Taylor defending against Tracy Williams. The Ladder War X for the ROH World Tag Team Championships are the Briscoe brothers defending against the Gorillas of Destiny.
That match could be really, really good.
It probably will be. I was
The
just
biggest collection of assholes
I
ever
leg-
assembled in one ring.
you watch your mouth about Good Guy Tamatanga.
Good guy Tom Tonga is a saint.
I forgot that the Briscoe brothers were the champions, and so I'm like, oh, I'm surprised the GOD's going back to Ring of Honor. Maybe I just got super worked.
Because God won them that
Though it was the
whenever Cassin
Mania weekend. Yeah. The trios match: Caristico, Sobernero Jr. and Stuka Jr. versus Barbaro Cavernaro, Hechicero, and Templario. I apologize to everyone involved in that.
I don't envy you.
Caristico, the original Sin Cara, formerly Mystico.
Oh, okay. That's
he's-
neat.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, is Sin Cara still on the roster?
Yeah. They just don't use him.
Oh, he's in Lucha House Party, isn't he?
No, he is not.
No, he's just on SmackDown.
He's just I don't know if he's on a brand. Like, I'm sure he is, but
I'm pretty sure it's
Lucha House Party is
Grand Metalik,
Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado.
Lince Dorado. That's the other one.
Giving you the best opening matches on 205 Live.
Singles match for the Women of Honor World Championship. Kelly Klein defends against Tasha Steelz. And then the ROH World Championship is Matt Taven defending against Alex Shelley.
That'll be good. I love me some Alex Shelley.
Reign has not been horrible, but it's not been as great as
Yeah, but it's Alex Shelley.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm most excited for. It's like, I don't think Shelley will win because ROH seems weirdly set on trying to make Taven a big deal, and it just doesn't seem to be sticking. At least it's not for me. Yeah. And it's not because I like Taven.
He has a lot of like people that actually just don't like him.
Yeah, and I kind of see it, but at the same time I think it's almost kind of unfair in certain aspects of it.
I decided I absolutely loved Matt Taven whenever we were in New Orleans.
Oh, when they were banned from...
They were banned from the building, so they were selling their merch. And it only pissed me off because they were selling the exact same shirts inside the building.
Yeah.
But they were selling the Kingdom shirts out of a van parked in front of the building.
As people were waiting in line to get to the venue.
Stupid question. Were they actually banned from the building?
No, because they did a run-in later in the night.
They were doing... That was the stories that they had been banned from the show for... I don't remember why. It's been too long.
But, so they were selling their shirts out,
cheaper?
No, same price, yeah.
Same price, but they were just selling them in a van.
They were doing the, being the elite bit with, they were playing music and, had the megaphone and stuff.
And, I loved that, and then I saw the exact same shirt at, the Ring of Honor merch stands, and I was like, well, that took the fun out of it for me.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you missed that, if you didn't go through that entrance.
Yeah. Right, because you definitely still want to sell that shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, then we got...
Yeah, Saturday NXT Takeover.
Hey, we got NXT Takeover. I got the list. You got the list?
Yeah, I got them all pulled up.
Hit me with it.
This is...
I'm gonna turn my list off.
This is such a... Takeovers are so stupid.
Stupid entertaining.
Yeah, it's just why? Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. That's going to be stupid.
I have yet to see heel Io Shirai, and I want to.
It's okay.
You're in for... I like it a lot.
Really?
It's basic, but in the best way.
She looks confused.
She does,
watch her entrance.
She did look
She
confused.
looks confused and sad.
No. Yeah, you literally just ruined that for me. Motherfuck.
She doesn't...
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I just... It's the glass shatter moment of just yep, you're... Well, that match is still going to be real good because Candice LeRae is a treasure.
I am so
She's
sorry.
also a treasure. Oh, I'm mad at you. The NXT Women's Championship, Shayna Baszler defending against Mia Yim. I love that, what they've done with her.
Mia Yim has just actively been killing the other two chicks.
I also love Mia Yim. She's great.
My only complaint is that, this is kind of what NXT has become very formulaic with their women's division, where, okay, Shayna Baszler has beaten literally everybody, so now we have to... First it was Bianca Belair. It's someone that we've had for a while that we haven't really used a lot of, but, okay, now we're really going to put the spotlight on them. Oh, what a surprise. They won the #1 contendership match. Who could have seen that coming? And now you get the title match. So I don't know which way they're going to go with it. I hope Mia Yim wins it.
My favorite thing about this entire feud was I forgot.
Going home.
Oh, it was Shafir, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we have backstage footage of Mia Yim beating up Shafir, and she murders her with a car door.
She did the same thing with Jessamine Duke with the locker door.
Yeah, so the car door was the one that I saw because it was so funny. She murders this poor woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then cold-blooded Samoa Joe kills somebody and then just props herself up, composes herself, and just walks into the fucking locker room.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most baddest of asses that it's going to be a horrible thing whenever Shayna Baszler beats her.
Yeah.
So my thing is, either Candice LeRae needs to win or Mia Yim needs to win.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have Shirai and Baszler win because then literally that heel turn makes no goddamn sense.
No, and
to me.
that's why I don't think it will.
You think Candice is going to go over? And then
honestly, I don't know. I think that it's more likely that Baszler retains than not. But
I kind of agree.
I would rather see. But honestly,
anybody other than Baszler champion at this point.
I would not even that. I'm not. I know some people are really sick of her.
I'm a little sick of her.
I love her.
I haven't hit that point yet. I get it, but I'm not there yet.
She plays the bully better than anybody.
But if I could get a Mia Yim Candice LeRae match for the championship, I would be on board for that.
That would also be really good.
NXT,
you know when I first heard about Mia Yim?
Jade.
In TNA when she was part of, was it Dollhouse? With
Chelsea Green
and Marty Bell.
Yep.
And I love Marty Bell. I've always wanted her from CZW. No, it was the girl that used to be in WWE, and she was general manager on ECW, and then she went to TNA.
Oh,
Tiffany?
Tiffany. Yeah,
she was with Drew McIntyre.
That's right.
She's the reason they got fired from WWE originally. Because they got in the argument in the hotel, and
he got I think that was the D push is what
Oh, that was the deep push? Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't think it was why he got fired.
He stuck around for a while with 3-man band and stuff. Yeah. It was her.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know why I thought it was Chelsea Green. Triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. Velveteen Dream defending against Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong.
Yep.
Cool. I love Velveteen Dream. I'm more interested in seeing Pete Dunne's reaction to Velveteen Dream, like in the setting of a match, because we've seen the build up and stuff. But
yeah,
my favorite part about Pete Dunne being in NXT is that he doesn't have to fight Walter, and I don't have to see Walter.
Oh no, that's coming, but it's going to be
All Out weekend.
Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate versus Walter.
Yeah, is it Tyler Bate? Tyler Bateman.
No, it's
Tyler Bate.
Okay,
You're right.
I always feel like I never get that name right, and I don't know why.
Like, you trying to say a full name?
He's like,
I feel like you're cutting it off.
Yeah, he's the only other person that they like care about with the UK division. It's
They
him.
like Mark Andrews
It's him and
sometimes.
Dunn. It's him and Dunn. The tag team championship match: Street Profits versus Undisputed Era.
R.I.P. Street Profits.
Yeah, like why I don't get what they're doing on the main roster at all. There's no reason for them to be there.
Cutting
From what I
silly-ass
read
promos.
is they said they have no plans on wrestling. Like, they have no plans on using them in a wrestling capacity on Raw.
Then
It's
why?
literally just there for, like, cameos.
That makes no. It makes
Because
no
I guess
sense.
they think it's funny or something.
It makes no sense. And honestly, like it, I love Montez Ford. After the last takeover, like that dude is a star, and I cannot wait to see what he does. But I don't care about this team at this point. Like the main roster appearances have lessened my excitement for this.
Yeah.
If they would have strictly stuck around NXT, I would not be near as down as them. And it's like it's not fair. I get that. This is me being kind of shitty, but like no.
But it's also
it's
put it on
opinion.
shitty.
Yeah.
put it on Undisputed Era. Like
Again.
I would not be sad if this ended with a clean sweep of Undisputed Era with all of the belts in NXT
Yeah.
because like they can do it.
Should be House 100.
And then Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Championship. Each fall has its own stipulation. First fall is a street fight as picked by Johnny Gargano. Those sirens are on Broadway here. The second fall, as picked by Adam Cole, is just a match. And then,
I loved that promo.
And then the
Something bad happened out there.
yeah. And then the third fall has yet to be determined. It will be revealed by William Regal.
So
Probably if it comes down to the third fall.
submissions match.
I
It's Regal.
I honestly
Piston
like,
and T match.
I hope that for no reason there's just a cage above the ring.
Regal is just as his.
It's just
But then it turned into a ladder match for no reason. Just like Regal.
They should have a segment before the show where, like, Johnny Gargano's walking out, Regal's out, like, by the ring, setting stuff up, and he looks up and sees the cage. He goes, "What's that for, William?" "Oh, nothing.
As he's putting a ladder underneath.
No, don't worry about it." Don't worry about it.
So it's a 3 stages of hell match. They just can't call it that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but that's gonna be. I'm super excited. Honestly, like I'm super excited for both that and SummerSlam.
I have some concerns about SummerSlam.
Yeah, run me through the SummerSlam.
I have
card.
more. I mean, I have concerns as well, but I think it's one of those things where it's like I don't really care about the stories leading into anything, but like the matches themselves, I'm sure are going to be really good.
Okay, so of the matches here, and just really quick, I can see at least 1, 2 matches, maybe just 2, that seem like they were set up either this week or like 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And they're pretty big matches, and both matches contain legends,
Yes.
very oddly enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my biggest concern going into this is I don't want Trish Stratus to ever have a bad match.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always worried, and I don't think she'll have a bad match against Charlotte, but there's that fear of,
You didn't watch Evolution, did you?
I did not.
Yeah, that wasn't a great.
What did
match.
she wrestle?
She was in
a
a
tag,
tag
wasn't
match.
she?
Yeah, whenever Bliss was injured and it ended up being Mickie James and Alicia Fox, it was not great.
I don't know if I've told you guys, but I have this very, like, Trish Stratus is on a pedestal for me.
Hey, it's your rose-colored glasses.
She is my everything. No offense, women, but she has, like, always been the greatest wrestler.
I don't know why you gestured at me.
Well, the greatest women's wrestler.
We all know.
So
I know I don't hold a candle to her.
I just don't want anything to tarnish that image I have of her. This is a girl that went from literally, hey, pull your breasts out and go out there and get the men horny, to take off your clothes, get in your thong, and bark like a dog for Vince McMahon, to one of the most respected women's champions of all time.
Yep.
Like, her career journey was so incredible. She needs a showcase.
Which it's funny.
But they can't do it on with a teen rating.
Yeah.
It would definitely mature.
It's funny because Lita's career did the opposite.
She started respectfully and ended as a trash bag hoe. That the Crime Time was literally selling her like underwear and stuff when she got kicked out.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It's pretty
She
rough.
didn't get the
Little
she didn't get
rough
the respect she deserved.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway.
that's what happens
She-
when you go out of heel.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
why
what?
She was a bad guy. But no, super excited for the. I hate all of you.
I did nothing.
You were here. The Cruiserweight Championship match. honestly one of the ones that I am most excited for the entire weekend.
It's not Oni, is it?
Drew Gulak versus Oni.
I didn't watch 205 this week.
I know it's weird that we're in a wrestling podcast and don't.
To be fair,
pay
he watches
attention to
more than
wrestling.
I do.
Drew Gulak's defending
Ali,
against
you're
Oni
fine.
Lorcan.
You're fine.
I love Oni. He's a treasure. His Twitter presence is a treasure.
Don't make fun of my finger.
It's not nice. This is the number one post on Reddit this week for Squared Circle. It's just that tweet for no reason. One of the matches that you're talking about, Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair. I think, honestly, a singles match I think would be easier because there's less moving parts involved. Yeah. And I think Charlotte is good enough that I think
any ring rust will be covered.
I think Trish is good enough that even being ring rust away from it, she is just that talented that she can cover it well, and Charlotte's good enough to carry her through the rest.
Yeah.
So I don't think this will be a bad match.
Who do you think's going to win though?
Charlotte.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a legitimate chance Trish could win.
This is the match that will propel her to her women's championship.
Yep.
Against
Bayley.
I beat a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Give me my title shot.
Gimme.
Goldberg
shot,
versus Dolph Ziggler. That was announced on Monday.
Goldberg's going.
Goldberg,
to kill him?
12 seconds.
Goldberg is definitely. He said Goldberg. He's stupid. Idiot. Dalton, no, please.
You're not a flat earther. You like Goldberg. AJ Styles versus Ricochet. Also super excited for this match. For the United States Championship. Just put all the gold on the OC.
I still like
they already
the OC
did.
better. I like OC better than the club. Dalton, do you agree?
Neither name is great.
I would have picked the OGC. The OBGYN.
Obgyn.
They got their fingers in
What's
everything.
Obgyn? Stop it. So many.
Thank you.
No,
I'll be back tomorrow.
Let's make it worse. Then they have to add a woman to the club so that they can say they have their fingers in every division. Add Balor, so he's in the world title, secondary, the United States title, tag title, women's title.
You know what? Vince,
Pull someone up.
that one's free.
Recruit Kushida, have him go after the NXT title.
That one's
They're
free.
everywhere.
That one's free.
Send someone to Evolve. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. This one, Wyatt has to win.
He has
to win.
Unless he beats him so badly, gets DQ'd.
This is one of but this has to be a decisive positive for Wyatt.
Maybe ref stoppage.
Otherwise, there is a very solid chance that will ruin my night. Because they've got magic with Bray Wyatt. I love him very much. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. If Kevin Owens loses, he has to quit WWE.
So Owens is probably going to lose.
Owens is probably going to lose, and then he's just going to come back as the outlaw for.
Or they'll
Mr.
forget about it and
Mr.
he'll just
America.
wrestle in 3 weeks.
Yeah, solid.
I think that match is going to be fun. Shane McMahon, for all the shit we give him, usually delivers a fun experience. It's not always technically great.
We will be sports entertained.
Yes, agreed.
Bayley versus Ember Moon for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship.
I hate this match. I hate that Ember Moon is such a placeholder contender. Ember Moon deserves so much better. I love Ember Moon.
I would
because she just lost. What was it last week? It was a tag match, I think. But you should not have your contenders taking pinfalls before their championship match.
No, it was this past SmackDown again. Natalia refused to break the sharpshooter.
Oh, so she just got
I think so.
victory by DQ or whatever.
I don't remember entirely, but it was a weird build.
Hey, whatever happened to the wild card rule?
Question marks.
Thank you.
Becky Lynch versus Natalia in a submission match for the Raw Women's Championship.
I don't think this is going to be very good. I don't know why.
They had that really good mat exchange in their tag match. I'm looking forward to it. Both of them are phenomenal wrestlers, and
Natalia is such a solid veteran at this point.
As long as they don't, and I know they will because they can't go to Canada and not do it.
As long as finish?
Some sort of screw job bullshit. Just stay away from that, and otherwise, I think the match will be phenomenal.
Ooh, do a screw job, but let Natalia win.
Never
I'm
in a
going to
million
kick you in the
fucking
teeth.
years.
And that's what I'm talking about. I think that's more likely than
That they screwed Becky and have Natalia win the title?
Yeah.
You think Brett's going to come out with her?
No.
Oh, no, not after
Not
AEW.
anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe he does what he wants. I don't.
When you hit that legend stride, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. I'm looking forward to this match. I like both of these competitors a whole lot. I know, but like I said, and I say every time, I am the person who likes Randy Orton more than anybody else in our friend group.
It's true, but I feel like you say it almost in a way that sounds like we don't like Randy Orton, because I do like Randy Orton.
Several of you don't.
At this table or in general?
Yes.
I like Randy Orton.
You've been more down on Orton before.
He can bore me at times, but when he's on, he's on.
Yeah.
He's like Nakamura for me. Like, I love Nakamura, but it depends on the mindset that Nakamura's in. I love cocky heel Randy Orton. He's incredible. I saw a video from his wife's Instagram where she RKO'd him into a pool, and it was fantastic.
Oh, Instagram Randy Orton's my favorite Randy Orton.
Or him on Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yeah,
Or-
he's that dude. He's just that dude.
Before before the story started, him shit talking Xavier Woods on Twitter about Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Like, those are the little peaks that I know we're not supposed to get, but it's like, that's why I still like Baron Corbin and kind of wish he would come back. Because, like, I like fun. I like off with his head. Like, give me that dude. That dude's fun. And then the main event, there's no question, it has to be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for
Bricky
the
Brock Lesnar.
Universal Championship.
Which we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I think it will be either a competent match or it's going to be a bloodbath, and Brock Lesnar is going to obliterate him. And and surprisingly, some names you don't see on here. There's no Roman Reigns. There's no Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
That was a match that was rumored for the show. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Cut, because they're continuing the storyline. It's a very odd card. You've got a card where you have Trish Stratus and Goldberg wrestling, and Shane McMahon. 3 of these matches are with part-timers. Can you call Shane McMahon a part-timer at this point?
Because he's on every show. To be fair, they have lessened his usage. Like, he hasn't been on both shows every week. He's usually on one or the other.
Raw is objectively better lately with the Paul Heyman influence. I want to know when Eric Bischoff
has been working.
Officially takes
Well,
it.
but
He has been working.
See, but that's the thing, is he apparently, like, he is not a creative person. Like, his role in the company is not creative.
Which is, I want to know what the hell he's doing, because
He's-
if Vince McMahon is literally coming in the day of the show and rewriting the entire thing.
See, and that's the thing,
What
is it's
the
like
hell?
90 minutes before the show starts, it's like, oh, hey, we're completely doing everything. We're changing everything. No, he is more of the face to the network, because he has experience in dealing with major networks.
But see, I
with
thought him and
television, so
Heyman
that's
were
what they're
coming in the same position where they both had.
That's what it made it sound like, but then they're like,
That's
the news
shitty,
coming
man.
out, the reports coming out, like, it's no one really knows for sure, but it sounds like he's more there to kind of like grease palms with Fox.
Also, I'm not a big fan of him, so I don't really care, but I am curious about what happened to him. And as we talk about all this, whatever happened to the guy that got in trouble for the racist rant online?
Lars Sullivan?
Did he get injured?
Yeah, he's injured.
Okay, I thought so, but I just wanted
Yeah,
to
he
clarify.
got like a pretty sick knee injury.
Yeah, it was because it was a couple weeks after that came out, and then because he was feuding with Lucha House Party.
And that's the last thing I remember. He was
Yeah.
destroying them.
So it was
and
right
then he
after
just
like the
disappeared.
last Saudi show, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I want to say it was because he killed him at the Saudi show.
Yeah, I don't
right?
have the sense. I don't have a sense of timing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but he's injured and he's
Okay.
out. He will likely like come back in a big way, I would imagine.
They do like
Maybe.
their-
Well, maybe, but then again, like, so they had to scrap WrestleMania plans for him, and now he's hurt. So
maybe they lost some faith.
that might
Look at Mojo Rawley.
derail him a little bit.
I'm not a fan of Mojo Rawley. None of us really are. But like, what's the deal with Mojo Rawley? Stuff like that where you push the guy
24/7 title.
He comes out during commercial breaks too and talks about how he's not going to wrestle in front of crowds. He did that thing where he was talking in the mirror at himself. It seems like WWE is throwing so much random darts at the wall and seeing what sticks.
It's the Shelton thing. Like, it's like, what's smirky, weird, evasive, not answering questions, Shelton Benjamin.
Still better than probably. I think, well, it's not the worst angle I ever saw on WWE, but do you remember the thing where Shelton Benjamin's in the locker room and Trish Stratus comes in a towel?
Oh yeah, it was the spoof of the
Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you ever see this?
No.
And Vince McMahon comes in and because Shelton and Trish kind of have like a sexual tension between them, and Vince comes in and says, you can't be in here. It's like proving that black athletes with young white, it's trouble. Yeah, it was pretty racist too. So Shelton leaves, and then Trish drops the towel for Vince instead, and Vince is like, oh yeah, because Vince McMahon is in charge, so he can fuck every attractive woman on the show and get away with it because he's a fucking piece of garbage.
He is Trump's buddy.
All right, that's the show.
You did it.
We're going to be back tomorrow for After Dark. Be myself, Lindsay, not Allie, Jesse, and Fourth, maybe, because Allie's not going to be here, so we need somebody, Dalton. Because I don't think Hunter's going to be available this time.
No, Hunter and I both have work tomorrow.
Asa.
Hard pass.
What?
I'm so tired.
Okay.
I just don't. I have recorded literally every night since Sunday.
I'll put in a
And
call
last night,
to-
but I did. Oh no. Okay, so Sunday with Respawn Aim Fire. Monday we did Nerd Up. Yesterday was Election Day, so
That's true.
Beat.
True. All right, well, it may just be the three of us. I don't know. We'll have fun. We'll talk about gun shootings. We'll talk about animal abuse. Oh, it doesn't sound very fun at all. That's tomorrow. Thank
better
guys
find
for
a
tuning in
list.
for top 10 animal abuses. But,
Oh, actually, so real quick, I don't know if this is breaking, but Jazz is going to be in the buy-in all-out battle royal.
Oh, cool.
I guess she bought in.
That video just got posted. Neat. Okay, sorry.
All right. That's the show. Asa, hit us with those links.
Facebook.com/Podzilla1985, Twitter.com/Podzilla1985, Podzilla1985.com for any of the past episodes. You can sign up, subscribe to the RSS feed there.
We're also on Spotify. We're on
Yeah.
iTunes. I believe we're on Real Audio. We're on HBO. It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
So whatever podcasting platform you choose to use, we are there, and we would appreciate a subscription and a review as well. Also,
I'm proud to say that you can now, I just signed up for this feature today, you can now take a tin can, tie a string to it, put it against your computer, and you can hear our show.
it's true.
Asa hates me.
I also did
They all hate me.
I did the Respawn Aim Fire show on Sunday. That was a lot of fun. That episode just came out yesterday.
That was really good. I listened to it.
We have the link on our Twitter, the Podzilla1985 Twitter. You can go there. I posted it, as well as the link to the Nerd Up that we did last night.
And interact with us.
Yes.
It's a great place to talk to us about stuff you like. You also did not do Nerd Up last night. It was on Monday.
Monday, whatever. Time
Good
is
night, guys.
Time is a flat circle.
We'll see you tomorrow for After Dark. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you liked it. Remember to subscribe. Dalton, fuck this shit.
Oh, he didn't do it for the Juggalos and Juggalettes.